Su bicicleta se descompuso y creyó que lo había perdido todo. Pero un espectador saltó al rescate para darle una nueva esperanza. Y lo que lograría gracias a él le cambiaría la vida para siempre.
And Michael Rogers is making sure he's got the race lead because he's getting a second place win bonus as well. So that will give him a clear lead overall, and it's all been done on a borrowed bicycle today.
Michael Rogers corría el Tour Down Under en Australia, cuando de la nada su bicicleta le falló.
On the reason it's where it is for the benefit of the crowd. And what's happened here? Michael Rogers has thrown his bike to the ground. He desperately needs one quick. He's got one. It's not a team bike, although it's the same make as his team, Colnago, and I have a feeling that's come from a spectator. It's unclear what happened there. People are saying he was in collision with a motorcycle. We didn't see that, but he's gone. And he was so lucky to get a bike. If that has come from a spectator with the right pedal cleats, the saddle clearly a little bit low for him. But he's got himself a good bike at the right time. Now, the adrenaline, which he released half of it, slamming his other bike on the floor, it looks as though the rest is going to go into these pedals. He looks quite unconcerned now. I think he's got this under control.
Y claro que Michael Rogers no tenía todo bajo control.
Remember that Rogers is still riding a spectator's bike. I've now discovered that the spectator, in fact, was a cyclist from Melbourne and has always been an admirer of Michael Rogers, and Rogers is still sprinting on this bike. At least he knows now his bike goes, because that was the sprint and a very valuable 3-second bonus for Rogers here. Now gives him a good lead overall. Paolini of Mappe gets second, and it looked like it was Steve Cunningham who took the third place there. Well, he's had the hiccup on the hill, but he's making the most of it right now. The beauty of the Barossa, and Rogers will agree with that right now because he's riding superbly. Champion of Italy, Daniele Nardello, is here.
Y es que lo que lograría Rogers en una bicicleta prestada sería algo histórico para el ciclismo mundial. Porque pese a que todo indicaba que iba a salir mal, terminó por torcerle la mano al destino durante la carrera.
Now the mechanics there, just getting back in the car, have actually hired the saddle on the bike. It's taken them a while to do that, but because of the all action, the descent and then the sprint down in Angaston, I would think that Rogers now stretching his legs a little bit is going to feel a bit thankful because his legs will have been aching from the lowness of the saddle. But let's go a little bit back down the road because this man has got clear as well of those 5. And Michael Rogers is making sure he's got the race lead because he's getting a second place win bonus as well. So that will give him a clear lead overall, and it's all been done on a borrowed bicycle today. So what could have been a disaster has turned out totally triumphant for Rogers. He is now the leader of the Tour.
La historia de Rogers y la bicicleta prestada sorprendió a todos los que estaban atentos a la carrera. Y es que claro, pasó del fracaso a la gloria, solo gracias a un fanático que estaba ahí para ayudarlo.
And Michael Rogers, a pretty lucky break today.
Yeah, it certainly was. You know, we did all the hard work, but early, and maybe it was destiny that got me to the finish with the bike there. So.
Well, the man with the bike on the hill, Adam Pike, glad you could come along, but what were you thinking there? We saw the pictures on the screen. Michael crashing, you had the bike there, he jumped straight on. What were you thinking as your bike, which is almost $10,000 worth, disappeared up the hill?
Well, I knew that Michael was nearly in the overall lead from yesterday, and I thought, well, if there's a chance to give him a hand to get him up there, why not?
We're just looking at the pictures there, not very happy with the bike there, Michael?
No, it failed me today, so I was lucky that Adam was there, and, you know, I lost very minimal seconds, and, you know, maybe because that I, you know, won the Tour without it, certainly, you know, I wouldn't be standing today.
Sin embargo, lo cierto es que no todos los espectadores de ciclismo están ahí listos para ayudar a los corredores. Y es que muchas veces se pueden encontrar a personas que solo quieren hacer daño y sin importarles nada, se meten físicamente en estas reñidas carreras.
A scary sight at a women's European cycling tour in the Netherlands. A cyclist is taken down by a spectator. Wow, can you believe that? You can see the onlooker's hand hit the handlebars of Lauren Rowney's bike. She flips over and takes a hard fall. Lauren doesn't give up and crawls to the finish line. She is being treated for a broken collarbone. Wow.
Oh my gosh, that just is painful to watch, too.
She crawled to the finish line.
I don't understand that.
Why would somebody do that?
No. Awful.
Los accidentes están a la orden del día y ni siquiera los eventos más importantes del ciclismo se escapan de esto. Y es que incluso en el Tour de France se han registrado aparatosas e increíbles caídas en la pista.
Oh, a huge crash at the side of the road. I don't know what happened there, but everyone has come down. The entire peloton has crashed. I don't know what happened. Whether it was a rider at the front or something. One rider hit a fan, I think, at the side of the road, Tony Martin, and the entire peloton has crashed, pretty much.
Well, there was only a very few riders there that made it through at the front of that bunch without getting caught up in the crash. It happened on the right-hand side of the road. Yes, it looked like Tony Martin caught a sign held by a spectator, and the crash went all the way across the road.
Pero claro, no siempre son las imprudencias de los espectadores lo que se toman estas carreras, sino que también las buenas acciones de algunos que están dispuestos a todo por ayudar a los competidores.
I've now discovered that the spectator, in fact, was a cyclist from Melbourne and has always been an admirer of Michael Rogers, and Rogers is still sprinting on this bike. At least he knows now his bike goes, because that was the sprint and a very valuable 3-second bonus for Rogers here. Now gives him a good lead overall. Paolini of Mappe gets second, and it looked like it was Steve Cunningham who took the third place there. Well, he's had the hiccup on the hill, but he's making the most of it right now.